What is going on, guys? We got divisional round of the NFL playoffs to talk about, and this was maybe the most exciting weekend of NFL playoffs I have ever seen. We're going to get right into it. Let's go. What is going on, spectators? Welcome back to another episode. And today, we have to talk about maybe the best weekend of playoff sports I've ever seen. Absolutely incredible from start to finish. Every single game ending in a walk-off. My goodness, this is madness. I'm Julian. I'm here at Brooklyn. What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. I'm doing good. Glad to be back. Shout out Gerard for holding it down last week. So go
So,
check out that Super Wild Card weekend episode.
yeah.
But this divisional round, like
Yeah.
you said, walk off across the board, all
No.
four games. Insane, bro. Just classics. A classic football playoff weekend. Everything was dope. And I mean, let's get right into it.
Yeah, and before we get into the games, didn't think it I didn't think of this until after the fact, but
Mm-hmm.
we had in the NFC three Hall of Fame quarterbacks and Jimmy Garoppolo. And then in the AFC, we had maybe the three best young quarterbacks and and Ryan Tannehill. So it was like really a lot of greatness and then like just a one mid on each side. So I thought that was pretty funny looking at the QBs because I mean the
Yeah.
QBs that were available were absolutely incredible. Literally two of the best to ever do it, and the two best young guys in the game. So pretty cool stuff. Let's just go chronological here. Um, Cincinnati Bengals taking on the number one seeded Tennessee Titans. This is a game a lot of people were anticipating. A lot of people were really sipping the Bengals Kool-Aid, the Joe Burrow Kool-Aid. For some reason, he's the
Joe
coolest guy on the block.
Joe.
And he's a lot of fun, and this team is a lot of
Yeah.
fun. They have all the makings of a team that people would want to cheer for. They throw the deep ball a lot. They have explosive plays. They make enough plays on defense, but not enough to where like they're constantly in low scoring games like this. This was just kind of a weird one. Derrick Henry
Yeah.
comes back. He doesn't really have the best of games. Uh, 20 carries, about 60 yards. And the Bengals squeeze out a win. That was the definition of squeeze out. This was a ugly, ugly game for a majority of it.
And it's funny because saying it got squeezed out, you look at Joe Burrow's post game interview and the rookie kicker,
Yeah,
McPherson, he
yeah.
says he took a couple practice kicks and he just gives a little stretch. Looks like we're going to the AFC Championship game. And
Before he even runs out there.
that's just cold blooded.
Yeah.
And you look at the replay,
It wasn't an easy kick either.
he puts the kick up, doesn't even look at it go through the uprights. He's just all right, shake
Yeah.
hands, we out.
Yeah.
We would it.
And
And
he's
that
been
team's
really
just
good all
so
year,
cold.
so
Yeah.
McPherson, shout out to him. He's had a couple of game winners this year. That one from 52 to put the Bengals in their first AFC championship since 88, I believe, and their first ever road playoff victory against the number one seeded Tennessee Titans. The Titans can't get out of their own way, man. This Titans team is too talented. They're too well coached. But just like little things get in their way. First play of the game, interception. First play of the half, interception.
To end the game.
Interception. Like the Titans
Oh,
by all means should have won this game. By all
yeah.
means. They had the ball. There was like 40 seconds left. They were at the 40. They were
They were
driving.
driving.
They were
Yeah.
looking good on this drive too. By all means, they should have won this game. A bobbled pass, deflected, goes in the air, gets caught, and that's kind of the name of the game. And I think Tannehill played good enough in this game. Just throwing a red zone on like the 5 yard line pick, which wasn't necessarily his fault. The O line decided not to play on that snap. And then this ball bobbled at the end, and that'll do it. That'll do it. And Titans played a lot of bend don't break defense in this game. They only let up one touchdown in general, and it was a rushing touchdown from Joe Mixon. And I don't know. This is a really rough game to lose in Tennessee during their window because you're not going to get a lot of years where Ryan Tannehill's like going to be a good quality starter. And he gave that to you this year, and not so much in this game. But what's next for Tennessee? I have no idea.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say because you feel like Tannehill's been good per se
And he
during his
has.
tenure, just because like whatever he changed, whether it was just internally or physically or
Not
game
being under
plan
Adam
wise,
Gase.
and anything like
Yeah.
now it's kind of just being a norm now. So, like you said, you don't know how much of that you're gonna really get at a high level. Do we
Yeah.
get a regression now? Does he go back to his old ways? Like, what do we get? You would hope that it keeps on going because this team is talented.
They're insanely talented. This is like a top 3 talented roster.
They're the number one seed for a reason.
Yeah. They're really good.
So it's tough, but I mean, shout out to the Bengals, man.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe they go and get a new quarterback. Who's to say? But I don't know. I think looking at them is kind of an undersight just because Joe Burrow's that guy. Like, Joe Burrow is very clearly that guy. He made a lot of mistakes in this game, like a lot of mistakes in this game. I do think these mistakes are going to cost them in the next game. They play spoiler alert, they play the Chiefs after their insane game. I think it's going to cost them because Joe is just not getting rid of the ball quick enough. Their O-line's not holding up, and when they do hold up, he's kind of not making the decisions as quick as he should be. But he has the arm talent. He's making the throws when he's actually making them on time and not on the ground. Getting sacked 9 times in a game, though, you have no business winning a game. Zero. And that's the most amount of sacks that a team has taken in the playoffs and won in NFL history. So I think the next was like Donovan McNabb in like 2003 with the Eagles, which was crazy. Also a testament to Andy Reid and how good he's been in his career. My goodness gracious. He's the only coach in NFL history to go to 4 straight conference championships with 2 different teams.
Insane.
The only one.
Insane. Also, shout out to the Bengals for converting 7 third downs. That will definitely help you. If you're getting sacked 9 times and the other team is turning it over 3 times, converting 7 times on third down,
it will certainly help. Will definitely help your cause. And 19-16, the Bengals take this game. They're going to be the away team in the AFC Championship. That is absolutely insane. I don't think anybody would have predicted they were in the championship this year. I certainly didn't. I bet against them last week and this week, so I'm the idiot. It's the only playoff game I've gotten wrong, though. Keep that in mind. I've been great otherwise. Bengals, they're looking fun, but they're gonna have to score a lot more 19 if they're gonna beat the Chiefs. Let's go to game.
Joe Shiesty gonna have to make it happen.
He's gonna have to do a lot. He's gonna have to work some magic. Game number 2. The team that passed on drafting Aaron Rodgers. The team that passed on drafting Aaron Rodgers in the San Francisco 49ers. They drafted Alex Smith in the same draft. Now, here's some notable stats about the 49ers since drafting Alex Smith over Aaron Rodgers. They have beaten the Aaron Rodgers-led Packers 4 times in the playoffs. They are 4-0. They've been to 2 Super Bowls. They haven't won one, but they've been to 2 Super Bowls compared to the Packers' 1. And they are currently going back to the NFC Championship game after outing him again. It's the weirdest, timeline in sports.
Yeah.
But here we are. They're on their 4th quarterback since drafting him, and they're still a better team somehow. So I don't know how that works, but this game was ugly. This game was ugly.
Yeah, snowy game, just weird, frozen tundra, Lambo. But shout out to special teams.
Yeah, and you know
Uh,
what's funny is this was the special team bowl, right? These were the two worst teams in the NFL, and they were both historically bad on special teams. Like these two teams were bottom 10 teams in special team of all time, statistically, coming into this game. So you knew there was going to be some special teams blunders. And you get a blocked field goal, you get a blocked punt return for a touchdown. That's the only touchdown by the San Francisco 49ers in this game.
all they needed.
That's all they needed. And you know, this game started, and I think everybody got that pit in their chest, and they're like, "Uh-oh, Rodgers is gonna do that thing," because they start out with maybe the most efficient opening drive I've ever seen. Like, it was actually insane. Rodgers looked like he was just like mechanical. They go down the field. They scored her 7 points. It took like 6 minutes off the clock. It was a classic Green Bay Packers drive. 7-0. And it stayed that way for 25 more minutes.
And that deep ball right before the half, I was like, oh man, like
Yeah.
we getting spicy now.
Nope.
We get spicy, and then they don't do nothing with it because the kick gets blocked. And now it's just like, well, now we're in a weird spot.
Yeah, because now we're still only up one score. That was the most offense we've had in again 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And Aaron was efficient in this game, but there was a concerted effort to get to him as quickly as possible, but not in the typical way, because getting to Aaron Rodgers has never been the way to beat him. In fact, it's honestly kind of backfired a lot of times. Aaron Rodgers has been so masterful in getting out of the pocket, creating, making time, waiting for a receiver to get open. And the way that the 49ers got after him was like, hey, we're going to get after you quick, but we're going to come from like around you. You're not going to get any space to move. And with Bakhtiari out, we know that you're not going to have your full O-line strength, which is a sign of the weekend that we've seen, especially in the NFC. They swallowed him up. They didn't give him time. He was uncomfortable. He was very efficient in his throws, but just like he couldn't make the best decision, because usually the best decision for Aaron Rodgers is my bad wide receivers are finding a way to get open after 10 seconds of coverage. So it didn't really happen in this game, and they did a very good job at just like absolutely shutting down Devontae Adams for the most part. And that's some kudos deserved, certainly.
Yeah, 20 for 29 with 225 yards. Like, that's solid.
Yeah.
That's really, really solid. And you would think, okay, that could be enough.
Right?
But
You would think.
It just isn't.
Yeah, well, and with him and Jimmy G, and Jimmy G was actually terrible in this game. Jimmy G was horrific. And he threw it percentage-wise well, and that's kind of the story of Jimmy Garoppolo's career, right? Jimmy Garoppolo's throwing for 60-70% in his career. He's kind of like Sam Bradford, where like they're just super high percentage guys, but like it doesn't always translate. And granted, Jimmy Garoppolo is a winner. Like, he's not a good quarterback, but he certainly is a winner. 11 for 19 in this game with a 11.9 QBR. The quarterbacks combined for like a 30.3 QBR, 31.3. That's bad. A combined QBR, like I think average on the league in a game is like 40. And these guys were both sub 40 combined. And you know, that's partly the weather. That's partly the Packers defense played the best game I've literally ever seen a Packers defense play. Ever. They came in with a game plan and they looked good. They shut down Deebo Samuel for the most part. They shut down George Kittle. And that's the thing. George Kittle was supposed to be the guy that was going to kill them this game, because they can't really stop tight ends. And he had a couple yards, but I kind of expected Kittle to pop off for like 100, 115, maybe a touchdown.
But when he did go off, he had big chunks.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then also coming out of the half, they had no answer for Debo.
yeah. And like
Debo
towards
was
the end
just
of the game too, like Debo was the
yeah,
guy who took over. But
they were just tearing them up. So like majority, yeah, they got them, but when it mattered, just big chunks. And
yeah,
those chunks kill you. That
well,
they had no answer for it.
and when your game ends in 13-10, like 20-yard plays mean a lot. They mean a lot more than they do in the Bills game. So, yeah, this game was really odd. I watched this, and in my head, I was just thinking, these two teams are known for their offense, and they can't get anything going. This is not a
Yeah.
good sign for either of them. And I was kind of just thinking, like, man, these two teams just aren't it. That was kind of like my takeaway from this game. I'm like, I don't love what either of these teams kind of bring to winning a championship. And, good defense wins championships and all that. But when you can't generate any type of offense, when you have Aaron Rodgers and
Yeah.
Debo Samuel, who's arguably the best weapon in football outside of Cooper Kupp, I don't feel too optimistic about like future stuff. So that was like my feeling coming out of this game.
Yeah, no matter who they end up would have been playing from what we're gonna talk about in the next game, I wasn't
No,
they didn't impress me.
no, not at all. And then one more note that I do want to mention. Uh, this is likely Aaron Rodgers' last game, especially the way he kind of walked out and with all the rumblings we heard preseason, during the season. It's likely Aaron Rodgers' last game, especially with the way this ended. Like losing to the 49ers in the divisional round is
Tough.
maybe if they make it to the AFC Championship and lose or NFC Championship and lose on a kick, like a game-winning kick, maybe he stays. Maybe if they make it to the Super Bowl, he probably stays. They have a lot of guys going in the free agency. I'm sure him and Devontae are just like, man, you're a dog, but like, if I got you and you got me and you're the best and I'm the best at our positions and we can't score more than 10 points in a game, what are we doing?
And he said he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild if he stays. So the only way you're gonna have them to stay is just emptying the bank, and they
Which they
really
already
don't.
have. They don't have
They
much
don't
cap
got too much
space.
in the
No,
bank right now.
no,
So how do you make it work?
you
Do you
don't.
go make trades for people? Like is it
Who? Who do you?
that, that's the thing? Like
Yeah,
you got to get rid of what you have right now to go get one piece, and like now you're losing depth. Are you really getting anything crazy in return that's going to keep Aaron? And you got to do that before you get Aaron to commit. So
yeah.
you wouldn't even know if that's going to really do it. So it's whichever way you look at it, Aaron and Devontae are gone. So
Yeah.
that's it.
And you know what was the true kiss of death for the Packers? It's
What
a
was that?
weird one, but I'm gonna stick by this.
Mhm.
Odell not signing there was the kiss of death because
I think we all knew that wasn't going to happen.
well, I think like they were a candidate for sure. Like I think they had to have been in the top 3 or 4 teams that he could have gone to, because him and Devontae are boys apparently. Like it seemed like it could fit, and probably he didn't go because I don't think Odell likes Aaron, which I don't blame him. But
I I don't even think any of that has anything to do with it. I just
really,
think Odell was not going to Lambeau Field. Odell's not going to
he
Green
wants the
Bay,
bright lights.
Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Odell's not going to
he wants to
the
be in LA.
frozen
Yeah,
tundra.
he
Like
wants to be in LA.
he
He already
wants
did that
sunny
in Cleveland.
California. Like he
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
want none of that. So I
yeah.
don't care about any relationships,
That's
any
fair.
of that.
That's fair.
He just wasn't going to happen.
But like, am I wrong in this? That like, if they got Odell, this would have been very different. They didn't have a
Oh, this is
weapon.
a very different team.
Yeah,
Very.
like because Odell has been so good, like actually so good for the Rams that having that, and that's always kind of been a problem for the Packers. They've never really had like a number 2 kind of a guy. Like they've always had an elite guy like Jordy Nelson, and then like Randall Cobb was always kind of good, but like is he actually? And they always had like those kind of guys, right? Alan Lazard's not that
Yeah.
good. He's just not. He's okay.
Yeah.
So this is probably the end of a 30-year Hall of Fame run between Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Untouched, untampered with, 30 consecutive years of Hall of Fame quarterbacks. 2 Super Bowls. That's an all-time blunder. That's actually an all-time blunder. I can't think of a single thing in sports outside of like, the Vikings going to 4 Super Bowls and not winning one. Um, and then like the Braves back when the Braves were really good and they went to like 4 straight World Series and couldn't win one. I think it was something like that. They couldn't win a World Series to save their life. Um,
Yeah.
Outside of like those two things, I can't think of a bigger sports blunder. And this is
No,
30 years.
the Packers should have 10 total Super Bowls right now.
How many do they have total?
I
6?
think they got 5 or 6. 5 or 6. Probably 6.
Brett should have won 3. Rogers should have won 2 or 3. And the fact that each of them only have one, I don't know if it's on them. I don't know if it's got to be on the organization. It's not their fault.
No.
These are 2 top 10 quarterbacks of all time.
No.
Like, it's not their fault.
So tough scenes, but
bye from a
hate to
Vikings
see
fan.
it.
Bye
Hate to see it unless you're Julian, a Vikings fan.
bye.
You
Dude,
just
it's
absolutely love it.
love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Pretty embarrassing stuff, and I'm so down. Let's move on to Sunday games. Let's stop my slander. Go to Sunday games, where these 2 games were amazing for the complete opposite reasons as the games on Saturday. So the Saturday games, 2 walk-off kicks on low-scoring games. Nobody scoring 20. Kind of a snooze fest until it wasn't, and then it was like kind of fun towards the end. These games were like, whoa, the whole time. Rams come out. Bink, bink, bink. Brady can't get off the ground. Aaron Donald had the game of his life, which he seems to have every game, by the way. I think every game I've watched fully of Aaron Donald is the game of his life because that dude's just absolutely built different.
Bro, he's insane.
Yeah.
Words can't describe it. Like,
yeah. And the name of the game on this one, which I think we all knew, and if you look at the spectators pick them, 4 of us picked the Rams. Not because we think the Rams are a better team, not because Tom Brady is washed up or anything like that. When you have 2 offensive linemen that are hurt, and Tristan Wirfs is quite literally maybe the best at his position, and 2 of them are hurt against Aaron Donald and Von Miller, there couldn't have been a worse team for them to get hurt before. Maybe in the history of football. Like, honestly, like, and not that they have the best line in like NFL history, but like this was just like the worst opportunity. Like, Aaron Donald is as dominant as possible, and if anybody is gonna slow him down, it's Tristan Wirfs, and he wasn't here.
Yeah, you need peak protection. You need your top dog for that, because if you get anything less, Aaron Donald's gonna eat that up.
And he did. And he certainly did. And Brady felt the pressure all game. You're not going to win many games with 42-year-old Tom Brady throwing 54 times. And the reason for that is not because he's washed or anything, because he shouldn't be throwing 54 times. He just shouldn't. He just need to. And he had to yesterday. The first half, Mike Evans couldn't get it going. Him and Tyler Johnson are beefing, and Tyler Johnson doesn't want to catch the ball, and Brady doesn't want to throw it to him right. And
tough scenes.
Tough scenes, and this game felt really scripted for like a second because it was like, wow, the Rams really could have won this game by 50. And then the Rams fumble it. And then they fumble it again. And then the miss snap. Brady fumbles it, right? We get a Von Miller strip sack, the classic. The next play, we get a boofed snap from the center over Matt Stafford's head. The next drive after the Bucs score on that drive, Cam Akers fumbles it while they're trying to run out the clock. What are we doing? And all of a sudden, the Bucs are down 14 with the ball, and we're like, is this going to happen? It was 26 or 20. I don't remember. It was like 26 to 6, and we're like, uh-oh. Is this the Falcons 2.0? Is this happening? Because he's done it before. We're not shocked if he does it. And it almost happens. And then Rams win it. They deserved it. Matt Gay, former Buck, cut by the Bucs, kills the Bucs because the Bucs missed the field goal and Matt Gay didn't.
It's crazy, man. Like, shout out Brady, because you just can't bet against him. Even though they lost, you just can't bet against him and feel comfortable with it.
No.
it was 27-3, and you think, okay, like
And we're like, hey, there's still a
chop it
chance.
up. And shout out Gerard in our group chat. We're flaming the Bucks. I don't want to say nothing yet because there's still a lot of time in it's Brady,
Yeah.
and we're not arguing with that. We completely
Yeah.
understand,
Yeah.
and it happened.
It's just kind
It
of fun,
happened.
though. You got to
And then,
talk your talk. It's
oh,
fun.
absolutely. And then it gets 27-27, and it's like, yo, he's
Wait,
gonna do it. He's
hold
gonna
on.
do it. And then the big bomb from Stafford, the cup. They go down the field, they clock it. You see Stafford walk off the line, just all hype, and then
As he should be. And you
you
know
love
what?
to see it,
And
man.
you
You
know
love
what?
to see it.
This might be the last time we see Tom Brady play, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But we get to see Matthew Stafford finally have a good team around him.
Yeah.
And he's in the NFC Championship game. But that makes me so happy. I don't know if there's ever been a player on a rival team that I've ever liked as much as Matthew Stafford. Because Matthew Stafford was a longtime Lion, Vikings fan. And we kind of own the Lions. Probably why I didn't hate
That's
him.
exactly why.
That's
Like,
probably why. But he would chop us up every now and then. We would still win the game. But he would like light us up. And like Megatron would like light us up. And I would always watch this guy. I'm like, why are the Lions not good? Matthew Stafford's a
yeah.
dog. And we said it in the preseason. We're going to try and find a clip for you guys so we can let you know about our preseason Super Bowl picks. Because guess who looking good on picks right now? I said Rams Chiefs for the Super Bowl. And I said Matthew Stafford for MVP. If he didn't throw as many picks in the middle of the season, he probably would be. I'm just really happy for him. I really am.
It's cool
I'm
to see,
so happy
man.
for him.
It's really, really dope because coming in, everybody was like, oh, it's not gonna matter.
Yeah.
Stafford sucks. Look at what he did with the Lions, yada yada yada. Cool. Whatever. Here we are.
Here we are.
And then
Also,
like you said, go ahead.
I was just going to say, also, shout out to Cooper Kupp for actually having the best, including playoffs, season as a wide receiver ever. Most amount of yards. He just passed Larry Fitzgerald for the most yards. And if they win next week, he has a whole other game. So there's potentially 2 more games for him to extend that.
And the fact that he's producing in the playoffs. You love to see
183 yards yesterday.
Because people so often have a good regular season, then it gets playoff time, disappeared.
Happens a lot. Happens a lot.
Like, oh, come on, man. But what I was going to say is, like you said, it could be the last time we see Brady, but it's cool that if it is, he got to go out just thuggish. Like, he did what he did. He almost just finalized it, immortalized it, but you got to love it.
Yeah, I hope it's not. I really hope it's
not.
not. And I hope the Bucks give this team one more chance. I don't see it going one more. Like we always said, this was a 2-year thing. So I hope we get one more year out of it. But
you might as well because once you blow it up,
it's done. Yeah, once Brady retires and once like Godwin signs somewhere else. I mean, some of these guys are going to sign other places, but you can still make it work. Like if you lose Godwin, it's not the end of the world. Clearly, like they still could have won this game pretty easily if they have Tristan. So little things like that don't matter. As long as you keep Tom, as long as you re-sign the majority of the defensive guys.
And I see no reason why those people wouldn't come back again. Like they could mess around and bring everybody back again. Like
who knows? Who knows? Football's a weird sport. People want to get paid. People want to make their money, and I don't blame them. Yeah. I don't blame them. So, we'll kind of see where that goes. But shout out to the Rams. The Rams are facing the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. And pretty much as expected, the NFC West is the best division in football. I feel like I came into this season with the best takes ever.
We were pretty spot on. If you guys haven't
with almost
seen
everything.
Our NFL preview, please go watch it.
Yeah,
please go watch it. It's episode 99. Go check it out and just listen to us because we were right.
A lot of it turned out right.
Shout out.
Yeah, it's actually impressive how much right we got. I think the only thing I did wrong was the Bengals, which is fair. I don't think I even mentioned the Bengals much. I think I said they would be better, but like not there yet. And then the 49ers. I thought the 49ers were going to be exactly where they were in terms of record, but not make the playoffs. They snuck into the playoffs by one game, and now here they are. So,
Yeah, I thought the Niners were going to be the worst in their division, but that division as a whole was still going to
literally,
be.
I think we both thought they were going to be last, but I think we both had them like 9 wins.
Yeah.
like
I think nine or 10 wins.
it was
I
something
honestly think we
stupid.
said all of them were going to have 10 wins.
Yeah, we kind of dropped the ball on the Seahawks, I guess. If you want to call something that we did really wrong, it was the Seahawks.
Oh, but that's because of injuries. So it's
they
like,
just stink too. Their O-line's awful. There's only so much Russ can do for so many years. All right, but we got one more game to talk about. It was the game of a lifetime. It was the best game in playoff history that I've ever seen. Maybe there's better ones. Probably that Brady Super Bowl against the Falcons. I don't know. This game was absolutely bananas. 28 points scored in the fourth quarter. I think 21 of them in the last 3 minutes. Oh my goodness gracious. The Kansas City Chiefs at home in a playoff rematch against the Bills last year. This was the Stephon Diggs revenge game after last year standing on the sidelines, watching the Chiefs celebrate. And Diggs woke up feeling dangerous. 3 receptions, 7 yards, and a 2-point conversion. I love Stephon Diggs. He's my favorite player of all time. He stunk the bed. Yes, last week too, Diggs has not been around. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks. Where is Stephon Diggs? This is not what
putting out Amber Alerts during the game.
It literally was. I was literally saying, where is Diggs? I don't know where he is. Josh Allen maybe played the most perfect. I think this is the best quarterback game I've ever seen in a loss. Ever.
Yeah, he did his thing. 27 for 37, 329 yards, 4 touchdowns, 136 passer rating. Like, only got sacked 2 times.
Led the team in rushing too. I think he had like 70 rushing yards. He had 2 or 3 just big first downs with his feet, especially on not the last drive of the game, but the drive where they initially took the lead. He just made so many plays happen with his feet. And that was what's crazy about this game, right? The game was very good. There was a lot of scoring early. But then you get this drive that kind of kicked everything off, right? The Chiefs get a Tyreek Hill run on a kick return that brings them to like the 30. They don't score a touchdown. They get a field goal. They settle. They give the ball back to Josh Allen. And this was the most surgical, like, back against the wall, but surgical drive I've ever seen. Because I swear every set of downs, they had a third down. And Josh was just poised. He took his time. He made the play with his feet. He made the play with his arm. He threw a lot to Cole Beasley. They march down the field, eventually score. Then the Chiefs come out and punch him right in the guts. They run 3 plays. Pringle, Kelsey, Tyreek for a touchdown. You're like, how are you supposed to compete?
You can't.
That's literally how I felt. I watched the whole Bills drive. It took 5 minutes. It was a 5-minute drive. They get under 2 minutes. They do this drive, and you're like, wow, that was impressive. They're going to win this game. And then the Chiefs just 3 plays, touchdown. Take the ball back, you idiots. Here you go. We want
all the people who are saying that the Chiefs are just out for the count early in the season.
We knew.
Look at this. Look at this, man.
We know.
To end the game, to send the game into OT, 13 seconds. That's it.
Now, here's I'm trying to come with some takes today. What Patrick Mahomes did with 13 seconds is the most clutch thing in NFL history. 13 seconds, and they get in the field goal range. 13 seconds. That's literally 3 plays.
Efficient. Just boom, boom, boom. Kick it. OT. Flip that coin. That's a dub.
And, like, these defenses were gassed. They're on the field a lot. There was a lot of points scored, right? I don't care. We said it. I was saying it during the game. Before, so the Chiefs scored, right? The Chiefs scored and they gave the ball back to Buffalo with like a minute 30 or minute 50 or whatever it was. They had all their timeouts. And I told Brooklyn, I said, they're going to play prevent defense and they're going to give up a touchdown because prevent defense has never worked, not on a Hail Mary, ever. Doesn't work. And they did it. And they get absolutely diced up. Gabriel Davis scores his 4th touchdown of the game. I don't even know who this guy is. I don't know who this is. He had 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. He was absolutely insane. This is the game of his life.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, we're talking during this game, and I'm like, it's almost like I knew this was going to happen. Because when you put talented guys like Josh Allen with the talented guys around him closer to the end zone, they're probably going to score because you're putting them in situations to succeed. You don't put talent in front of situations to succeed. You don't walk the bases loaded to get to Mike Trout. You don't do it. These are things you don't do. And so they score off their prevent. They give the ball right back with 13 seconds and prevent again. And it's like, did we not just learn anything on offense? Did we not just learn anything? Just play man, literally play press. And guess what? If Tyreek Hill burns you on man press defense, that's tough. But he hasn't done it all game. He did it on a slant.
Which was wild.
Yeah, that was wild. Come on now. Come on now.
Yo, that was wild. I'm watching it and I see him get the ball and he starts breaking. I'm like, okay. And then he hits that little...
He makes a little move, the smallest move ever, and it just turns. And, like, he turned that corner, and I swear he got, like, a jolt. He literally, like, input into the ground and just...
And then he hit the peace sign with it, and, I was...
it was actually incredible. Tyreek Hill is one of the most electric players this game has ever seen. Because there's just never been speed like that.
No.
Ever. No. He was literally behind 5 players combined for both teams. And there's 3 of them in front of him. And he peace signs. And he's not even in front of them yet. He's about to pass them. And he does the peace sign. And then he goes past him and scores. And it's like, you're a freak. You are an absolute freak.
Yeah, that has to be the fastest person in all of sports.
I mean, outside of like
without
the fastest person in a non
the four major. The four major sports.
Let's reel that one back.
Fastest person in the 4 majors.
You're definitely right though. Like he'd probably be one of the higher echelon runners. Like I don't know what his like sprint speeds are, but he would probably be somewhere there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, Tyreek is just different. And, we can sit here and talk all day about the overtime rules. This is not a new conversation. I hate that we bring it up every time this happens. I hate it because I don't think the overtime rules are good, but I don't think they're inherently bad either.
No, they're bad. They're so bad because you can't leave it right up to a coin toss. And I know, play defense. I guess. Don't let them score. I understand.
Play defense.
But it's like, why does it have to be sudden death?
Bro,
on a game like this where they're going back and forth, it's a shootout. You just know, okay, I win the coin toss. I win the game.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Like the game's not over. The game's not over. That's the thing. And I know you're gassed, and like that's kind of how this goes. But the Bills were the number 1 defense in the league this year in terms of points per game. The number 1 defense in the league. They give up 17 points a game, and they give up 42. 42.
The Chiefs don't count.
Stop. I know they don't count. They're cheat code. I get it. But like, the game isn't over on a coin flip, and it sucks that Josh Allen didn't get a chance. And if that's the argument, I'm down for it. And I am. I do think the overtime rules need some reworking. But it's not down to a coin flip because I think it's like 52% of the time the team that wins the coin flip wins. That's not like a number that makes me think, oh, well, it's over automatically. In fact, it's the opposite. It makes me think, oh, there's a 50-50 chance that either of these teams win because what's a bigger advantage? Genuinely, what's a bigger advantage? Scoring a touchdown, which only happens like 18 to 22% of drives. I don't know the exact number, but it's something between that, right? Touchdowns don't happen that often. Or kicking a field goal. Because if you get a stop, you go 30 yards, you kick a field goal, you win the game.
Mhm.
So, like, I don't love it. The rule's not good at all. But I don't think it's as busted as people think. If you get one stop, you get the ball back and you have an opportunity to win it on a field goal. And I
But
know it sucks because Josh Allen played, again, literally the best quarterback game I've ever seen on a loss.
it's just crazy because, like, what if basketball was sudden death? You win the tip off, you bring it down. Okay, play defense. Somebody puts up a shot.
It's a different
Steph Curry
sport.
puts up.
It's a different sport.
I'm just saying though. You want to get one chance. Play defense. You want to get one chance. Steph Curry puts up a shot.
Yeah.
That's it. You lose because they
Yeah.
won the tip.
I hear you.
Hockey. You win the face off. You bring it down. They score it. Like baseball, you go both ways. Both people got a shot no matter what. So it's like on the football side of it, let them at least get a drive.
But here's my
At
thing
least-
too. Football's the only sport of the major sports where defense has such an impact.
It
Because
does.
teams just don't score that much in football. Like you can't compare it to the NBA because in that NBA overtime game, the score is probably 116 to 116, and they're shooting 47%. So like that's a little different.
On a game like this where the score is about close to this,
Yeah,
if you bring it on both sides, and I know in the hindsight it's a crazy thing. Okay, a game like this, yeah, the overtime rules suck. A game like we saw with the
Steelers
Chargers
and
and the
Lions.
Raiders, perfect. Like they both get chances.
Overtime's
they both
hard,
go
dude.
back and forth. Sure, I get that, but why can't we just have it across the
Just
board?
be college rules.
Be college, but make it in the NFL way. If you want to make it from like
the 35, 40, whatever.
Sure. But at least
slightly
let
out of
it
field goal range, like fine.
Let it go back and forth.
Yeah, and I agree and I don't because like I want that rule change and I think it needs to happen. But
because imagine if this game is a shootout of college style overtime.
But like it's just not realistic either. Like, do you really want the Chiefs defense to go back out there and then give up a touchdown? And now the Bills defense has to go back out there and prevent a touchdown? And like these things aren't going to happen. The score is going to be 72-72, and now people are going to get hurt. Like if this was Madden and you could turn off injuries, you could turn off fatigue, beautiful. But it's not. This is real life in the most dangerous sport in the world, contact-wise, with like not actual fighting.
But if we're gonna go with that argument, like what are we even doing here playing? Like you just played 60 minutes of it, and now one drive. Oh, now that one drive is gonna stop injuries. Like
I mean, extra time. It's not the extra like drive is gonna do an injury. It's that these guys are tired.
I understand.
NFL players play one game a week because they can't play that long.
I understand that. I completely get it, but it's just like it's tough, man.
It's unfortunate and the rule sucks, but like I get why it's there because you can't have injuries and you don't want these games to drag on. You need a winner. Like the big issue here with overtime is that you had 13 seconds left to stop them and you didn't. So I don't care that you had 13 seconds and couldn't stop a field goal and then another opportunity on defense and couldn't stop them again. I don't feel as bad. I really don't. And I feel bad for Josh Allen and that's it. Not the Bills. I don't.
The fans get robbed from it too, though.
I feel a little bad for the fans, I guess, but like,
because that game
get a stop, get like 13 seconds, not an OT. Forget OT. Get a stop. And I'm sorry, Gerard, but like,
and I get that. I get that. Play defense. You don't put yourself in that situation. I get it. Hindsight is a crazy.
It's not
thing.
even hindsight, bro. We
talk about it all the time.
Seconds. It's not even hindsight. This is foresight. This is
foresight. A lot can happen in 13 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like this was an amazing game that kind of ends in controversy, and I don't really think it does. The Chiefs have lost to this rule, and you know, hopefully, Josh Allen becomes Patrick Mahomes because of this rule. Because Patrick Mahomes was amazing that rookie year that he played, or first year that he played. But like losing that Patriots game the way that they did without giving him the ball back made that boy angry.
But why do we need origin stories off of overtime? Why can't we just all right, you get a shot, you didn't do it, he made it, you're the winner. Congrats.
The world's a cruel place. That's why.
We're making origin stories off
Yeah.
of overtime. This isn't the place.
This is the place.
Not the
Sports are the
place.
best. Sports are the best drama in the world.
It is.
So we need a villain.
But
We need a villain.
why?
Also, it's gonna be kind of funny. Everybody was rooting for the Bills in this. And if the Bills make the Super Bowl next year, everybody's gonna be rooting against the Bills in 2 years. And it's funny how sports work like that. Everybody was rooting against the Chiefs in this game. Where if you look back, 2 years
Everybody
ago,
loves an underdog until that underdog
until
is
they're
the
not an
big
underdog
dog.
anymore.
Until they're the big dog, and now you hate them.
It's
Crazy.
weird. It's so weird. Like I was only rooting for the Bills a little bit in this game because of Gerard, but like I was rooting for the Chiefs. Like it's kinda,
People love
fun to
the
see
Warriors when they had the strength in numbers, and then now they started racking up numbers, and now they hate them. Crazy.
I don't hate him as much anymore. I just hated KD.
That's a
I'll
different
stand by
podcast. That's a different podcast.
I'll stand by that one. I will absolutely stand by that one. But we have our games are set. The championship is ready, and we have Bengals, Chiefs, and then the Rams and the 49ers. I know who I'm picking.
I know who I'm picking.
I think we got the same teams.
On
Chiefs,
3,
Rams.
Chiefs, Rams.
I'm gonna see y'all in the Super Bowl. Hopefully. I mean,
Yep.
I've been wrong twice against with the Bengals so far, but I'm telling you, bro, I've been spot on with every other pick. Those are the only games I've lost in the playoffs so far. So if there's any team that's gonna do it, it's the Bengals. I guess just to prove me wrong. That's fine. That's okay. You got it.
That's fine.
That's
It's gonna
fine.
be fun though.
I'm really excited to see potentially 2 Hall of Famers in the Super Bowl again. And just give Matthew Stafford a chance. Just give him a chance.
It's gonna be really weird that we go a whole NFL history without the hosting team being the home or like playing in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
To now
potentially back-to-back years.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, it's actually super strange. I was thinking about that too. And it could have been 3 or 4 years if the Vikings made it too. Like, it's crazy. It's like actually insane. So, pretty wild stuff. Chiefs are absolutely a dynasty though. Because this was the worst year of the couple, and here they are back. Patrick Mahomes had a bad year. 37 touchdowns, 4,800 yards.
There's a reason why there's a reason why I brought him up as an MVP when we had our conversation.
Yeah. No,
because
I know
that stretch of like 4 or 5 weeks when he turned it around was just so crazy to me because he was so bad.
He was so bad
in terms of Mahomes.
In Mahomes, yeah.
In Mahomes terms, like I'm not. He wasn't
everything's relative. Everything's relative.
Yeah, but he was so bad, and then just turned it around, flipped that switch, and it was just like, yo, my homeboy looking crazy.
Dude, I feel
he just kept on going.
I feel a little bad for Patrick, and I'm sorry if the Mahomes family is listening to this. That man has to carry the weight of a piece of dirt brother and a way overreactive wife. He has to carry that because Mahomes is so likable. He's so likable.
Yes.
He's incredible. He's fiery. He gets it done. He's a nice dude. It's like somewhat of an underdog story. Granted, it's not. He's still a first-round pick, but like, you know, he went to not A&M. He went to Texas Tech, not the best school, although they were for him. So it's like a small underdog story, and he's just so likable. He's so likable, and he has to carry this Jackson Mahomes. He has to play the Steelers in the playoffs and get called the TikTok Bowl because of his brother.
He's not even on the field. Get him off.
Also, to circle back to the Steelers real quick, the Steelers have not won. The Steelers have never once been able to make a TikTok about a playoff win because TikTok wasn't around for their last playoff win. Their last playoff win was in 2017, I believe, and TikTok was made like the fall, like right after the season. So
crazy.
Nice Pittsburgh.
you love to see it.
Yeah, that's 5 years ago already. That's crazy. They've been to the playoffs like every year. That's crazy. They'll be back once Aaron Rodgers is there. Baker Mayfield to the Broncos and Rodgers to the Steelers.
I really want like just everything flipped on its head. like an
And
NBA
that
type
oh
season,
yeah, and that's
that
something
would
we're
be
gonna talk
nuts.
about. We're gonna talk a lot about that the week between the Super Bowl, just because we're not gonna have football for that week. So that's something we can definitely talk about then, because there's a
Maybe we'll
lot.
get one of the boys to hop on
Yeah,
with
we
us.
can hop in there and kind of get some off season takes when there's only two teams left. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So yeah, be on the lookout for that, guys. Thank you guys for listening. We didn't expect this to be as long as it was, but the games are really fun, so I'm not mad about talking about it
they
a little bit
were.
longer. Thank you guys again. Make sure you follow us at _ the spectators on all social medias. And if you're not already subscribed to us on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us there. And if you're watching this on there, make sure you like this video and leave a comment on which game was the most fun for you to watch. Thank you guys. We'll be back next Monday, and we might be back before then if we're going to do another episode to talk some NBA, because it is time to start talking some NBA from us. And we apologize that we haven't. But with the way the group chat was popping off this morning, we might have to. So
And make sure you guys hit the YouTube. We got a lot of dope stuff, some vlogs, some interviews, some cool stuff. So make sure you check it out.
absolutely. Later, everybody.
Peace.